The NFL draft is right around the corner. And if you like me, you done looked at every mock draft, every prospect breakdown, the strengths, their weaknesses, every trade scenario. You ready to go, you all set. And like every year, you can expect a video from me reacting to the Bengals draft and discussing how I think we did. Also, any last chance U players taken, such as Dakota Allen, will of course get their own vid, and I'll likely also have vids on other guys who I've covered on the channel in the past. So today we're going to take a step back from this year's draft, and we're going to look at some of the strangest facts in NFL draft history that you probably didn't even know. Cue the Wayne. Life before the internet was tough. Imagine getting drafted into the NFL and not finding out until 55 years later, bruh. That's what happened to Norm Michael back in 1944. See, Norm joined the Army right after he graduated from Syracuse. So he was off in basic training when he got drafted by the Eagles. Nobody called this man. Nobody wrote this man. They ain't sent up a carrier pigeon or nothing. Like, they didn't let him know. 55 years later, he's at the crib, bro, in his rocket chair chilling, thumbing through the local newspaper. He comes across a list of ex-Syracuse players who were drafted into the NFL. Whose name does he see? Of course, his own. I'm pretty sure Norm had to feel away that nobody in his family, none of his old teammates, none of his old coaches, not at school, nobody hit him up. The Eagles, nobody hit him up. Like, nobody was able to contact him to let him know that, bro, you was drafted. You were an NFL player, or you could have been. Damn. In 1964, the Houston Oilers were so desperate to sign Texas native linebacker Tommy Nobis, they went and got another Texas native astronaut, Frank Borman. Now, this man was on a mission. He's in space on the Gemini 7. I'd be nervous on a plane. He's on the spaceship. There's a lot going on. He found the time to call back down to Mission Control and tell them to give a message to Tommy Nobis. Basically, he just said, yo man, it would really be dope if you would sign with the Houston Oilers. NASA Mission Control worked their magic and they got the message to Tommy. Then Tommy signed with the Falcons. The first NFL draft was kind of a waste of time. Today, the draft is far from a science and teams make bad decisions every single year. We have come to expect this, and it's part of the reason why the draft is so great. But what if your team drafted hella players, all the fans are excited and you can't wait to see how they're gonna use this talent, but then they do the unthinkable and they sign absolutely nobody. 1936, in the first NFL draft ever, that's exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles did. They drafted 9 total players, did not sign one of them. With that being said, the rest of the league wasn't that much better because of the 81 players that were drafted in that first draft. Only 27 of them ever signed NFL contracts. During the entire modern era of the NFL, so since like 1970, there has been at least one Hall of Famer selected in every draft, except 2. That's 1984 and 1992. I ain't really got nothing else to say about that. It just kind of sucks for those 2 classes. Every year as the draft gets closer, that 4th round quarterback just starts to creep up. He starts to look better and better in the eyes of desperate teams, and he goes from a 5th, a 4th, a 3rd, a 2nd round pick to a 1st round pick, sometimes a top 10 pick. He just shoots up. We all know it. It happens every year. Has there ever been a draft where there was no quarterback taken in the 1st round? Yeah. Last time it happened was over 30 years ago, in 1988. So in this year's draft, John Gruden and Mike Mayock got hella trust issues, but they also have 3 1st round picks. Nearly 20 years ago, the New York Jets had them beat. The 2000 Jets had 4 1st round picks. Who'd they get? Sean Ellis, John Abraham, Chad Pennington, and Anthony Beck. Not too bad. Will the Raiders do better this year? Time will tell. Sometimes even NFL teams play too much. In 1979, the Steelers and the Rams did not care that everybody was ready to go home. See, they had the last 2 picks in the draft and they kept passing on their picks because they was trying to get Mr. Irrelevant. They was basically having a battle for the last pick. It got so bad that eventually the commissioner, Pete Rozelle, had to step in as he got tired of the BS and just forced the Rams to make their damn pick. Later on, he would have to institute a rule called the Salata Rule to prevent foolishness like that in the future. The Redskins used to be worse than the Patriots when it came to stacking up draft picks. Bro, these dudes used to trade out the first round so much that they only made 3 first-round picks between 1969 and 1990. During the 70s, they didn't make 1 first-round pick during the entire 70s, bro. They were so bad that one time they got fined by the league for trading the same pick to 3 different teams. The NFL didn't even find out till the next year. Remember earlier how I was saying that that first draft was kind of a waste of time? Even the first ever NFL draft pick never signed his contract. Jay Berwanger, who was the first ever Heisman Trophy winner, was the first player ever selected in the NFL draft. However, the contract they offered him wasn't very lucrative, and he decided he could make more bread just getting a job in his local town. All right, last one, and some of y'all might remember this. One year, Tampa Bay literally drafted the wrong player due to Ken Herrock's terrible communication skills. See, they were using old radios at the time to communicate their picks. The team would be stationed in a different part of the building. They would radio into a scout or whoever they appointed. He would then walk up to the podium, get at to the commissioner. This particular year, they chose one of the equipment managers who had been with the team forever. He had the opportunity to go and turn in the draft pick. But when they called it in to him, here's what they said. Listen, Pat, you got 2 names here. We're not going with Sean Farrell. We're going with Booker Reese. Well, you see, Pat only heard the first name that he said because, again, it's loud. The radio is trash. Pat, 2 names. One with Sean Farrell, one with Reese. Sean Farrell. So he goes, he turns in the wrong name. The Redskins draft Sean Farrell. They tried to get the commissioner to overturn it and allowed him to get Booker Reese. No haps. Why did dude even say both names in the first place? The world may never know. Anyway, man, that's gonna do it. Those last 2 stories I've actually done full videos on, so if you want all the dirty details of those, man, I'll have 2 videos popping up on the screen. You can go and check those out. Other than that, that's all I got for you. My name is FlemLo Raps. I'm gonna holler at y'all next time, fellas. One.